All right, I'm here with Zeus, and in this video, we're going to go over some tips you can use if you have a dog that gets mouthy or nippy. Now, this is towards the end of this 3-hour session. She took a nap in my lap, but she's kind of cranky at this point. Now, one of the most important lessons for any puppy to learn is what we call bite inhibition. So when puppies are playing with each other and they bite too hard, they yelp like that, they pull back and they freeze for a second. Now, never let a wiggling puppy go because you're going to teach them to wiggle to get away. As soon as she stops, otherwise I'd be rewarding that behavior. She's doing a lot. I know it looks bad. I'm just holding it. Okay, so puppies need to sleep. A puppy her size probably needs to sleep close to 16, 17 hours a day. That's passive training. So basically when they're sleeping, they're recharging their batteries. When they're awake, if they get too much, this doesn't look good in camera, but when they wake up, they're gonna run around and just like they're human babies, they don't know when they need a nap. So the first thing you're gonna do, a lot of time, and that's kind of conclusion of what we're gonna go over here. So first thing you wanna do is anytime she touches you with her teeth, you wanna yelp like a little girl. Like this. I'm going to tease her a little bit. Also, don't play with her too roughly. If you play with her too roughly, she'll practice doing that. Oh, we got the magic spot there, is we? Yes. Ah! See how she froze for a second? So I yelp like that, and then I pull back, and then I stop engaging with her. That's the punishment. I would say punishment, that's the consequence. Now, the second thing I would do is I would have either not a bully stick, I'd probably use a nylabone. The nylabone that looks like a bone that no actual bones look like, but we call it a skeleton bone. So you get one of those, they're about this big and they should be rigid, should not be, usually they come in a 3-pack. You don't want to use the rubbery one or the cookie one, you want to use the solid one that you can't bend. And so basically I have one of those in my pocket. So the first step of a puppy who nips me is I yelp like that and I retract. Second thing I would do is I would actually redirect the puppy with the and I'm going to use a stick as a analog. Puppy, puppy. So I yelped, it didn't work, so I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to tease her. Now, if I just give it to her, she probably won't like it. So you see I'm teasing, and I tap her here, and I'm going to let her latch onto it. And when she does, I'm going to make her pull it away from me. So now it becomes a trophy. See how she walked away? I'm going to go chew my trophy. That's awesome. So we redirected her away from it as what she wanted to chew on. Now, a lot of times when puppies are licking things like furniture, they're licking it as a precursor to chewing. They're going to chew it. Right now, they're licking it to soften it up. So if you say, no, bad dog, you make it a forbidden fruit, and they're going to want to go back there again. Now, part of this is we do want to limit access, which is why we always recommend a long-term confinement area, a fenced-in area for the puppy to be in, so I know that they're safe anytime I can't supervise them. And I'll talk about that in a second. So basically what I do is I redirect and tease a little bit, and when she grabs it, and moves away. Now, if she's licking furniture, she's trying to wet it up to soften it up. So what I would do then is I would go to the fridge, grab some baby carrots. Now, dogs' eyes are not very good for detail or for color, but they're amazing for movement. So let's say she's facing this direction, this is the post of the chair, and she's licking this. So I go to the fridge, I get the carrots, and I knock on the floor like this. And when she turns to look at me, I would drop the carrots from about 4 or 5 inches. That movement is going to attract her attention. She's going to get up and walk over here and then chew on the carrots. Carrots are ward off the type of cancer in dogs. They're good for that reason, as well as they're good chewings. And so she turned away, she came over here and she chewed these carrots. And when she gets done, she's looking over here, not looking at the leg of the stool that she was chewing on before. You effectively redirected her attention. Now, when puppies start teething, freezing those carrots is a great way to numb their gums. And so getting them used to it while they're early is really helpful. If your puppy doesn't like the carrots right away, you can get a carrot that they slice it like kind of like medallions. Sometimes that works. Sometimes they're too big for a puppy with just the little sharp teeth. If that doesn't work, then I usually take a potato peeler and peel a little bit of the carrot, and then I might chop it into little bits or just put that in with their food to help them develop a taste for the carrot. And put the curlicues. Maybe they'll start eating those, then they eat the bigger, thicker ones. And so that's a great thing to use when they teeth. And teething usually is it usually starts around 5 months, 6 months. Ah! Even if it's accidental, go ahead and yelp like that. Now, what I like to do is like to use something like this. Some people say you shouldn't play tug of war with a dog. I think tug of war is a great game, especially for dogs who are learning bite inhibition. So I can go like this, And if she growls, that's okay. Some dogs growl just when they play, just like some tennis players grunt when they hit the ball. So I'm just kind of pulling, but don't play too rough, because that's, again, teaching her to play too rough. Now, if she touched me with her teeth, ah! So I yelp and then I drop it, and then the game is over. That's a wonderful way for her to learn. Don't touch humans with your teeth, because they are just babies. They'll cry like a little baby, and then they stop playing with you. Now, let's say that you yelp and she gets more aggressive about it. You pull out the stick or the thing and redirect her, and she doesn't have any interest in it. She just is gonna latch onto you over and over again. Usually means they're overly tired. When that's the case, you want to have a long-term confinement area, a fenced-in area that is full of all sorts of great dog toys, that has vinyl flooring if it's carpet, or just hardwood floor, so if she has an accident in there, it's contained. It helps the dogs practice being left alone, which will help with prevent them from developing separation anxiety. You know they can't chew electric cords or eat pennies or things that could kill them, so it keeps them safe. So when they get overly tired and they get overly aggressive about mouthiness, you walk into long-term confinement. Never lift your puppy over the fence for long-term. Walk in there. As soon as they're chewing on your heel, you turn around and walk out, and you close the door behind you. And then you leave them in there. And they probably will protest a little bit. This is BS. You get back here and let me chew your ankles. Yeah, you just did, and I didn't yelp for that one. But make sure you yelp. And so she might protest for a minute or two, and then she's like, I'm a big dog. I don't need a nap. And then half asleep. So we have, like I said, most of us don't realize how much sleep puppies need. So if she's overly cranky and she won't stop biting and nipping, go into long-term confinement, leave her in there. Make sure we leave the area. She's not going to want to sleep if she can see us around. And then, that's good. That's a good little toy. She had a toy that rotated and kind of threw her off for a second. All right. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the drop it command. So, come. So when she has an object in her mouth, like she's got a bully stick right now, I pull out a treat, which I don't have. Do you have a treat handy? Thank you. Perfect. So I hold it up against your nose. And when she drops it, I pop the treat in her mouth. I say the word drop, and then I don't show any interest in the object. If I take the object away, she's like, you're a thief. You just want my stuff. I'm not going to drop it. So we want to do it. This is a bully stick. This is not the ideal thing to do it. You want to do it with a low value item, one of her toys that she's allowed to have. So again, not when she's got it like this, like she has now, when she has it in her mouth. You hold it against her nose. Don't give her any command. Just wait. And when she does drop it, put the treat in her mouth then and say the word drop, and then don't show any interest in the item. Now, let's say the item is an item you have to take away. Then I would actually have two treats. I'd hold for one up, wait for her to drop it. When she drops the first one, put a treat in her mouth, and I'd go like this, and then I can pick this item up. But then I would replace it with a bully stick or a cow's ear or a trachea or some other piece, some other high value item. So she feels like, yes, I lost the underwear or the remote control of the shoes, but they left me something of equal or greater value. I don't feel shorted. I'm happy to do that. If you do this drop command enough, you just say, the dog just starts to grab anything, you say drop it, who's gonna hook me up with a treat? And so we just teach them that it's rewardable to give it to us. Now, drop it is different than leave it. Leave it is one of the lessons we'll cover in your puppy class videos, and you'll get a video on that. But these are important tips that you can use if you have a puppy that's mouthy. And like I said, you have to yelp and get in a habit. The more you do it now, the less you'll have to do it later. If you don't do it now, you might get a puppy that thinks it can bite to correct people. If it bites the wrong person, they might decide to euthanize your dog. You don't have anything to do with it. So it's the most important thing. No contact with teeth whatsoever. So that's why that tug of war game is great. All right, well, this is Zeus. Isn't she a cutie? And these are some tips and tricks you can use if you have a dog that likes to mouth or nip, a puppy, I should say, that likes to mouth or nip.